Alright guys, we're in Delhi, we're here at the Meetup, and we got a few guys out here, we got a few inside, and it's going to be really exciting to be able to share a little bit what I do, some of my videos, and have a great time. Right guys?
Yes!
Awesome. Alright, let's get to the Meetup.
Friends, welcome to the channel, and today I am at Zostel, Paharganj, New Delhi, and look who is with me, Alex Chacon.
Thank you for coming, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And he is the one whose video is actually went viral in 2014, and you can check it. His video is Epic Selfie video.
Correct.
And he was the world's 11th most searched person in 2014. That is quite commendable.
I'm
and
amazed.
That's a big feat.
Thank you very much. I'm amazed you know that.
Yes, I checked your website.
Thank you very much.
And he's quite like him because of the fact that he travels by motorcycle and all over the world, and he's so inspirational, and he did the things different. He introduced Epic Selfie video. Everyone was shooting selfies or portrait, but he was doing selfie videos, and he was the one who introduced drone selfie. So, if you can't do the best thing, you will do it differently. But he is like different and best both.
Thank you. Dhanyavad.
So that is why I could not resist to meet this guy, because he's my I'm his fan, and I kind of admire him the most and watch his channel. There are only I follow few people. Like one is you, another is Mumbai Chemical. I follow Lakshya as well, because what he did is such a small age that matters, because people in India don't allow your son to go far from them. And that also alone, they fear that he will be spoiled. But they don't allow. But that is very commendable. And I'm not here just to make a photo or just for that purpose, not for any reason. But the biggest reason, video is secondary, the biggest reason is to meet you, and that is why I'm here. And I want to ask two questions that I got so excited and so nervous that I'm missing that that part. So Alex, if I'm not wrong, this is the third or fourth time you are in India.
Sixth time.
Sixth time. Oh my God. So next question is, what brings you back to India again and again?
The world loves to know about India, and I'm lucky enough to work with the government of India in different projects.
Oh, like look northeast, if I'm not wrong?
Yep, Arunachal Pradesh, Karnataka.
Okay, and what do you like about Indian culture, Indian people, and what do you like the best thing about India?
So I come from a Mexican background, so my culture is very similar to the Indian culture, and I love the food as well, and the people are amazing.
And you are in Delhi, like you are staying here for like 3-4 days.
Right.
Yes. So can we know the reason that you are in Delhi?
So I have nothing. I usually come for work, but this time I just came because I wanted to meet everybody and just come to India again because I love this country.
And that's quite a good thing.
It is good.
A few moments later.
So Alex,
yes.
You have been in India. So what's next
after India is Ladakh, Mumbai in India. Then I go back to Nepal. Then I go to Slovenia. Then I go to Romania. Then Moldova. Then Croatia. I fly back to South America. I drive to Peru. I go back home. Then I fly to Sri Lanka.
Like, how are you able to plan like so many destinations, so many countries, like almost 10 to 15 countries you have already listed? Like, how do you plan so much?
I don't really have a plan. What I do is I just show up and I do it.
So, coming back to India, and there are quite similarities between India and Mexico. So, being a student, ask personal questions. That's our time. So, asking that personal question. So, how do you manage your social network life, your social life?
It's difficult because I have to meet people in different places, so I have to make friends very fast.
And next question. Again, more personal question. So, what's about your love life?
The love life is on hold right now because I need to work first.
Just wanted to know, like you are not in any relationship?
No relationship.
Only
only with my camera.
Avoid with your family.
Only with my family, really.
Many YouTubers do show that they call they are good part. You show the actual, the reality kind of thing that okay, everyone you are so that is what connects.
Yeah.
And that's why I like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So nice meeting you. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Very loving person. And I really admire it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the interview.
A few moments later.
So the YouTube channel is what I do mainly. This is what I dedicate most of my time to, is YouTube. So what's happened is that, I'll go over my history in a second, but where I am today is the following. Now I produce videos for brands, I produce videos for myself, I do the YouTube, I do the vlogging, I do branded projects. You might see me on the page of GoPro selling stuff. You might see me on the webpage of Kawasaki. You'll also see me in magazines selling. I'm not selling anything, I just sell the pictures. And basically they put it on magazines. It comes out on big Facebook pages, comes out on magazines from around the world, from Canada to the United States to Mexico to the other side of the world to Europe. So that's what I'm doing now. These are some of the videos, one of my favorite videos. We have Iceland, we got motorcycle video here, selfie video there. Each video is different. There's vlogs, there's cinematic videos, there's how-to tutorials. So there's a little bit of everything. And recently in the last 6 months I've been doing nothing but vlogs. Before that, I did this stuff. So for instance, the Iceland video is all done on a drone. So I drone all Iceland driving a motorcycle for 2 weeks. It's a really cool video. If you haven't seen it, it's super awesome. It's one of the first times anybody's driven a motorcycle and flown a drone at the same time, which is a skill that you can't develop without playing video games. So video games really help me out. But it's a super cool video, check it out. I almost crashed a few times, but the footage is epic. The very first time I was here in India, second time I was here, was about 4 years ago, and a company called Bosch Technology hired me to drive the Bajaj Pulsar around. Yep, and we have somebody here who was actually helping me on the project. So how did I start to travel the world on a motorcycle? This is my very first trip. I was 17 years old and I drove a giant Kawasaki KOR 650 around the entire United States at 17 years old. Imagine my mother, who's Mexican, like an Indian mom, when I told her I'm going to go travel, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know how long I'm going to be gone. So what she did is the Mexican mom always grabs her saddle and boom, starts hitting you. So the Indian moms are the same, right?
Typical Indian mom.
Same deal. So we all go through some of the same struggles. And she didn't like the idea, but I did it anyway. I had my own money, I had my own motorcycle. I camped out at parking lots, at big stores, anywhere I could. I was eating canned beans the entire time, which is the cheapest food to eat. And that's how I sustained myself very cheaply for 30 days. But you have to sacrifice something in life to get where you want to get. So that's what I had to sacrifice. So after that, I graduated college, I graduated medical studies, I was going to become a doctor, but I decided that I wanted to take a year off of my life and travel the world and experience things that I've never experienced before. And most importantly, I wanted to have stories and an experience to tell my children, to tell my dad, to tell my mom, because where I came from is very culturally closed, just like India. The culture sometimes doesn't allow you to think outside India. It doesn't allow you to think outside your household, outside your state. So it's very culturally rooted where I come from. So it was very difficult to leave. But I knew there was something inside of me that needed to explore the world. So what I decided to do after graduating is I purchased a motorcycle. I drove it from Texas to the very tip of South America, as you can see there, and I drove it back all the way up to Alaska and back down. That trip took me 500 days, and that's what started my career. And if you think you need expensive camera gear, if you think you need 500 days, I mean, if you think you need like crazy stuff to make a viral video, I made that entire video on one GoPro HD2. It can barely shoot 720p. So it's not about how much money you have, it's about the idea, and these days it's about your clickbait title. So if you have a really clickbait title, you can make things go viral. This was done 5-6 years ago when clickbait was still not really clickbait, but now the algorithm favors clickbait, so before it didn't. So that's a little bit of that video, and that video changed my life because what happened,
Do you guys use Reddit? The front page of Reddit? So anybody know Reddit?
Yeah.
So Reddit is a very famous forum or website that basically posts news, politics, and it posts the most viral things. So somebody posted that video on there, and it shot up 500,000 views in a day, and eventually reached up to 3 million views, which for somebody that just made a cool video was very impressive. And I said, wow, there's something very unique here. So then I decided to pursue another viral video. I said, I think I can do better, because if you guys want to watch that video, you guys may have seen, has anybody seen that video before? All right, I guess so, yeah. So if you want to watch it, it's about 10 minutes, but it'll change your life, apparently, I've been told. So then after that, I traveled for 6 more months, and I decided to make my Epic Selfie video. Who here seen my Epic Selfie video? Oh yeah. You guys are all good, thank you. I have a treat for you today, because I have my 3rd installment of my Epic Selfie video, and you guys are going to be the very first people to actually see it. So I'll show you the new one, not the old one. So then I said I'm going to make a viral video and see if I can make a career and generate money from traveling making this video. So once again, this video is for the one person back there I didn't see raise her hand. Welcome, ma'am, young lady. I didn't mean to single you out. But the reason that selfie video is so good is because I was doing the selfies before there were selfie poles. So I was one of the first people to really release a video that way. So by the way, so who has any questions on what we've seen so far about me, about my travels, about videos?
We all know you.
Anybody? Oh, we all do? All right. So we'll go over a few questions and then we'll continue the presentation. Good? Question?
What did your father say when you told him, or what will you do after going down the world?
I love this question because it's such an Indian question. It's also a very Mexican question. So at the very beginning, my parents were not very supportive of what I was doing, because I was quitting medical school. I was leaving, I was selling everything I had, including my car, my TV, clothes, and I was going down a path that was uncommon back in 2012 when I started doing this. So they were not very supportive. They didn't help me financially. They didn't help me emotionally. They were a little supportive, but not a lot. But it wasn't until 1 or 2 months that I started to travel that they realized that the world is not such a scary place as the news or the television makes people think it is. So after that, they were my biggest obstacle. But about 4 to 2 months into the trip, they were my biggest supporters, and they're my #1 fans. I had saved a certain amount of money, and I realized that I wanted to go some places that were difficult to get to. It takes time and money, and I said, if I save a little more money, I can see more. And then I said, okay, if I drive a motorcycle, I can see more with the same amount of money. So the way I got inspired was, I said, I have a motorcycle, I have money, and I have a tent, and I can eat canned beans all day long. So I said, with that, I can make my money last me twice as long. So my inspiration was to take awesome pictures and share them with my family and friends. But I had no idea that the Epic Selfie video would be such a hit. So I filmed that just for my family and for me, and it became a worldwide sensation. So by the way, that video actually got 200 million views all over the world. It only got 14 million on YouTube, but it got another 15 to 20 million on Facebook, and then when I appeared on international and national news around the world, that's where it hit up another 100 million.
Do you like to call yourself nomadic?
Nomad. So yeah, I am by definition a digital nomad. Because I too, my friend, I'm in the corporate world, because nobody pays you to travel. People pay you to produce something. So I have to produce digital content. I have to find the people to pay my trips, to pay whatever it is to do that. So, you know, we're not too far apart. Where did I get the most ill? Delhi, India. Here is my story. I went to Agra 4 years ago. Went to the Taj Mahal. And back then, they were renovating it, they were reconstructing it, so you know the streets were still dusty, it wasn't quite good, so that happened. I bought some water from a usual vendor where everybody was buying water from, and I grabbed the water, it was cold, I opened it, I drank it. As I'm drinking the water, I look to my right, and I see that there's a cow going to the bathroom inside the water coming out of a faucet, and the cow is And then there's children grabbing the old water bottles and filling up the water from where the cow is going to the bathroom. They seal it, they get a lighter, and they seal it, and they go back to the vendor, and they sell the water to the vendor. And there I was drinking this water going like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get so sick, and I got so sick. So I got so ill, I lost 20 kilos of weight. I had to go to the emergency room twice. I had to fly home being sick, which was miserable. I also went on a 1-week train ride from Goa back up to Delhi. I was also sick. But basically my mind had to be more powerful than my body. So I basically had to tell myself, don't die, drink water, because I couldn't eat anything for about a month. It was that bad. So it turns out I actually had 2 different parasites from the water. So I had to have really heavy antibiotics to get rid of that. So it was miserable, it was difficult, and it took me a whole year to recuperate my stomach.